Hey guys, this is a video lecture that is geared towards the homework problems of lesson 6.1 in the math 10-12. So let me go ahead and try my best to see if I can make this as understandable as possible. So 10-12, and this is session 6.1. Which is this guy right here. U.S. measurements. U.S. measurements. So basically the idea is if we are given one of these units, and you can find this PDF file emailed to you guys like a couple of days ago. You can find the formulas for geometry. So rectangle, square, triangle, all the way down to circles. And this is the page that you want to use for the US measurement. Basically, you have the length, time, fluid arms, liquid weights, stuff that you already seen in the past, but it's just good to have in one place. Even though when you do your homework and your test, you'll be able to see it right here. So that they give you the information right here. So now, let's look at the first problem. So they want you to convert from 46 pounds into ounces. So let me write this down. So we wish to, example, convert, let me try to make this bigger. Convert, what was it? 46 pounds into ounces. Now, the book and also the program shows you some way that, it's cool to use that way to do it. But for me, here's the easiest. Let me give you a shortcut, right? Just a quick and dirty way to do this thing. And it's by using proportion, which is what we cover before the whole coronavirus outbreak happened. Is I will set up two fractions. So the first one would be this guy. I'll call it, the first one is the pounds. And the second one will be the ounces. So a fraction, all right. So now, let me erase a little bit, make it a little bit shorter. So now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out, hey, we have what we call, let me try this. We have this is what we know versus what we actually want. And I'm going to set up two fractions here in order to get a proportion going. And there will be an equal sign in the middle. Let me see. Equals. There you go. So now, what are we talking about? What do we know between the relationship between pounds and ounce? You can always look at this, or you can look at the PDF file, or you can just Google if you want to. 16 ounces equals 1 pound. So let me go to the other page. And I just kind of remind myself right here that we know 16 ounces equals 1 pound. That's the relationship that we know of. When you know something, you can put it into the first fraction. Now, what does it say? Pound over ounce. So the first guy would be, we know 1 pound equals to 16 ounces, just like that. Now, what do we want? We want to know 46 pounds is how many ounces. So the 46 will go to the top because the top is pounds, right? So I'll put 46 right here. Now, how many ounces is that? We do not know. That's when you put in X. So remember, that's how we set up the proportion, right? Just like that. Now, how do we solve this problem? Remember the cross multiply thing? So let me use a different color. Remember, we got to do this right here. Cross multiply, just like that. So now we should have, let me see, tax here. We should have 1 times x, which is just x, right? Equals 16 times 46, which means x equals, and I'm going to use my calculator for this one because I cannot do this in my head. Let me see. Calculator. 16 times 46. And that would be 736 ounces. And that's the answer. That's it. So let me go to back to the question here. So we don't need this anymore. So this is 736. Done. Pretty easy, right? Let me try another problem. So now it's quart to pound. So I'm gonna clean this off right here. How do you clear it off here? Just new. You know what? It might be easier if I just erase like this. So I'm gonna erase this. Erase this. Oops. Yeah, I'm trying to do this with my mouse. It's gonna be very difficult. It will be a lot easier for you guys to get this done. I wonder, can I make this bigger? No. So let's see. So for the second problem, I'm just gonna erase those lines anyway. There you go. So we know that is equals. Now let's look at this. This is now quart to pint. Now I know some of you guys say, well, 1 quart. Look at this. 1 quart is 2 pint. So obviously, if 1 quart is 2 pint, that would just be 62, right? So you can check it out, 62, just like that. You could have done the same thing, just like that, and I'm gonna do this one right here. So pint to quart. The problem sometimes the quarts to pints, pint to quarts, you might get lost because you don't know whether or not you're multiplying or dividing. You have to really kind of know for sure. But the way that we're doing it right here on the left, it's going to make sure that it's always going to be correct. So we have 40 pint, and we want to know how many quart that is. And we know the relationship is 1 quart equals 2 pint. So you got to know the relationship between those two first. Now, this time it's going to be quart over pint. Now, you can do pint over quart if you want to. Doesn't matter. What do we know? We know that 1 quart equals 2 pint. So it's 1 over 2. What do we want? Well, we have 40 pint. That will go to the bottom. So the bottom will be 40. Like that. We don't know the top. We do not know how many quarts we got. So that will be an x. Just like that. So now we do the same thing. Now I wonder if I can just copy this. So copy. Yep. Let me see. Copy. And then I can maybe paste right here. Oh, there you go. Nice. Huh? Paste it right here. And then I can do the cross multiply. Just like that. Like that. So now we get 1 times 40 is 40, right? Oh, go back to the 40 equals 2 times x would be 2x. 2x. So it's like that. And then you can say, well, we can now divide by 2, right? Remember, always divide by the number in front of the variable, in front of x in this case. So let me divide both sides by 2. just like that. Then you get, of course, 20 equals x. So what does that mean? 40 pints is 20 quarts. Obviously, you know that because 2 pints is 1 quart. So you just divide that by 2. So, I mean, I get that. It's easy if you just do it in your head. But I just want to show you the process. Because not every problem's that easy. So, now this one, 240 hours, how many days? Well, 24 hours is 1 day. So, of course, that's 10, right? So those are easy. Seconds, well, you can 2 hours. How many seconds is 1 hour? Now you can do this. You can say 60 seconds is a minute. So divide by 60. 60 minutes is 1 hour. Divide by another 60. So you can do that if you want to. So you can do like this. Two what is it? 22807 divide by 60. And then divide by 60 again. Or you could just look at the paper we have here, right? Look at this. 3600 seconds is 1 hour. So you could have divided by 3600. It would be the same thing. So there will be 0. What was the answer? They 100. 100 means 2 decimal places, right? So 78. Like that. Done. So let me see. Now let's look at this one. 105 inches to feet. Well, 12 inches is 1 feet. It's 1 foot. So that should be easy. Divide by 12. 8.75. So these are all just, stuff that you probably seen in real life already. Yeah, is when it started to get a little bit crazy. So let me clear this off right here on the left and see if we can just work it out. So let me erase this. It's definitely harder than you think it will be. Erasing on this program, all right? So let's see. We have inch and yard. Now you can look at their software. So they have 1 yard, 36 inches. Of course, you can also go to the PDF file, right? Look at this right here. It says 1 yard right here. It's 36 inches. So we know that 36 inch equals 1 yard. So not too bad. So you will have, let's see, this time we have inches over yard. And we know that 36 will be over 1 because 36 inches equals 1 yard. What do we want? Well, they give us 990 inches, right? So the top will be 990. The bottom, we don't know. X. So now let's look at this guy. And that's when you do the cross multiply thing. Cross multiply, and you should have 36x equals 990. And now look at this. You have to divide both sides by 36. Remember, always divide by the number in front of x. So let's see. There you go. So that will become, I'm going to put in the calculator here, 990 divided by 36 at 27.5. That's good enough. So x equals 27.5. So that's 27.5. Yeah. So let me skip some problem just to do because all this problem about the same thing. Guns and all that. Just go to the paper. It says gallons is, let me say, 1 gallon is 8 pints. So you could use that for this problem here. So let me just skip. Let me see. So right here says the shear fabric cost 5.69 per yard. and it will take 75 feet for this particular project for this house. So how much do you have to spend for these guys? Well, let me see. So the first thing is, don't worry about the cost right now. You have to know what is 75 feet in terms of yards. So let me erase this right here. I think I can hit new one. There you go. So we need to know, first of all, question. 75 feet equals to how many yards? This one's actually pretty easy because we know that 1 yard equals 3 feet. So all you have to do is divide by 3. So 75 divided by 3 would be 25. So that would be 25 here. 25. So not too bad. So now that we know it's 25 yard, we know that question, since, make this bigger. Oh, since it will cost us 5.69 per yard, what is the total cost? Well, that's not bad because we know it's 25 yard, right? So that'll be 25 times 5.69, which is equal to, let's use calculator again, 25 times 5.69. I got 142.25. So 142.25. That's the answer. Let's hope that's right. Yeah. Now let me skip some more problem and see. So this one is Adrian exercised 3 days. He exercised 96 minutes and 45 seconds, then 99 minutes and 35 seconds, then 103 minutes and 40 seconds. You just gotta add up all the minutes. So for this one, right, first you add 96, add up all the minutes. All the minutes. You want to know the total, how much time that person has spent exercising. So that's 96 plus 99 minutes plus 103 minutes, which is equal to 298. Now, what about the seconds? Well, the seconds would be add up all these seconds. Okay, let me make this bigger. So let's see. You have 45 seconds for the first day. So plus 35 seconds for the second day. Then 40 seconds. And you have, that's what, that's 80, 120. So 120 seconds. So isn't that equal to 2 minutes? That's 2 minutes. So put them together, right? The overall is going to be 298 plus 2, which is equal to 230 minutes. Just like that. So that would be 230 minutes. But look at the answer here. Is it how they want hours? We have to now figure out what is this in terms of hours. So it's just a lot of tricks. It's a tricky problem, right? You got the answer. You just gotta write it in the way that they want. Now we know 60 minutes is 1 hour, so you can just divide by 60. That's the easiest way. 230 divided by 60. 3.83. So that will be, let me see. That do it? What's going on? Let me see. 99, 96, 103. This should work. Oh, I'm tripping. My bad, my bad. 298 plus 2 is 300, right? My bad, my bad. So let me go back and change that. That should be 300. So let me erase the bottom here. Should be 300. Well, that's easy. Divided by 60, you should have 5 hours. Okay, my fault, my fault. 5 hours. Oh, let me go back to this. So it should be 5 hours. There you go. So that, how many, 6.5 days, how many minutes? You can multiply by 24 to get hours, then multiply by 60 to get minutes. So you can try that out yourself. Same thing over here. How many scoop would it take a 2-ton crane that can scoop 2 tons at a time to move 14,250 pounds? So let's see about this one. So here's the game. The game you're gonna play is we have 14,250 pounds. The question is, first, how many tons then? That's the first question. Now, when they say ton over here, it's a little bit confusing because we have 2 different type of units. They're both called ton. In our case, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So, but let me say something about this. In this guy is what they call US ton. So if they say 1 ton, that's 1 US ton. So 1 US ton equals 2,000 pounds. The problem is we have something else called metric ton. 1 metric ton, and that's something we'll talk about in the next units. 1 metric ton equals a good old 1 million gram. So in our case, right, we are gonna use this. We're gonna use this one here, the US ton, because they talk about pounds, right? Pound is not in the metric system. We'll talk about this one in the next units, all right? So now let's see. We'll have to do, since this 2,000 pounds 1 ton, you have to divide by 2,000. So let's put this in the calculator. 14,250 divided by 2,000, and I have 7.125, so 7.125. Like that. But that's not over yet because this scoop here can take 2 tons at a time. So this crane can, every time they scoop, is 2 tons. So you should divide it by 2. Right. So let's see. That will be 7.125 divided by 2, which is 3.5625. And they want you to run to 10,000 plays, which is kind of stupid, right? Because scoop, you cannot do half a scoop. So, but it doesn't matter. Just give them what they want. Thousands plays mean, or 10,000 plays means 4 decimal plays, which is exactly what we have. So 3.5625. I can actually copy that right here and paste it. Very nice. So let me see. While cleaning out the garbage, this covers some container oils taken in for recycling. The container holds 30 fluid on 7 cups and 3 quarts. Find a total. So basically gotta add up all 3. So the question is, this time around, is what is 30 fluid ons plus 7 cups plus 3 quarts? Now, the conventional wisdom is, let's make everybody the same units. You can't just add cup to quarter and to fluid ounce. There are 3 different measurements, right? So the easiest way is to make everybody into the smallest unit. Fluid ounce is the smallest. So let's see. The question is, how many fluid ounce can you get from these guys? It's actually not too bad, because that will become 30 plus. Well, you just gotta look at how many ounces can you get from a cup. So let's go back to the PDF. It says what? 1 cup is 8 ounces. So 7 cups, 7 times 8 will be 56. And then 3 quarts. Well, 1 quart is 32 ounces, right? That's what it says right here. So then you have 3. So 3 times 32 is 96. 96. Which is equal to what? Let me see. 3 times 5 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17, so that's 170. 6 times 6 is 12, so it's 182. 182 fluid ounce. And that should be it. Not too bad. And I'm gonna let you guys try the other guy. It's all the same thing. Miles to yard. You just gotta look at the paper. Look at this. 1 mile is 1760 yards. So really, you just gotta multiply this. So 1760. That means 4.5 times 1760. That's 7920. Done. Easy. Now let's say yard to mile. That's division. So just work on that. Let's see. Let's get. Now this one is when it gets a little bit interesting. We want to find the area of a rectangle. So now, first of all, let's go back to this. The area of rectangle, of course, you guys know this, is A equals length times width. Like that. So this guy's 5.5 feet by 9 inches. So the first thing you gotta do is figure this out. 5.5 feet is how many inches? Once you figure that out, then you can multiply by 9. So 5.5, you can think about that as a decimal number. So that's like 5.5 feet, right, times 1 foot is 12, right? So 12 inches. So that should equal to, I don't know, let's put a calculator. 5.5 times 12. I got 66. So that's 66 inches. So this rectangle right here is a 66 by 9 inches. So that's 66 times 9, which is equal to, what is it? Times 9. 594. So let's put, will be 594. This is square inches. Here's the problem. We got the answer, but look at the units over here. Look at this. They do not want inches. They want square feet. So we got to go back and change this back to feet. So, but that's not too bad because I know 12. So 594 inches, right? You just got to divide that by 12, and that will give you the feet. Equals, oh, hit too many times. 49.5. So that's 49.5. What the hell? Oh, you know what? My bad. I think I made a mistake here. Let me try this again. Here's what I would do. Let's do the easiest way. The easiest way is, since they want feet, right? I'm just gonna do this. So on one hand, we have 5.5 feet, which is 5.5, right? On the other, we have 9 inches, right? So I'm just going to change that to feet. I think that's going to make it a lot easier. So 9 basically divided by 12, right? So 9 divided by 12 equals, and I believe that's 0.75. 0.75. That's the feet, right? So just multiply those two. That's probably easiest. So the answer, the area, equals 5.5 times 0.75 equals, let's see, 5.5 times 0.75. And I have 4.125. There you go. That's probably the easiest way. Done. Yeah, this one's tricky because basically you have to look at this first. Look at the square feet. Then you round the inches to feet. My problem was initially I changed that to inches because I didn't look at the answer first. So let's see, ounce to pound. Try that. Try that out. You should be able to get it. Okay, well, so that's the end of 6.1. I'll see you back in the next video.